Hello, and welcome to the Gaia Daily for May 10th through 12th, 2019. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, we're coming off of this big squeeze, but the drama continues as the planets dance out their dance, and we are going along for the ride. We have had an intense week of aspect after aspect involving all of the planets in Aries and Capricorn squaring up and asking us how in the world we're going to move forward as cardinal signs, and how are we going to change the structures of our world to better fit the reality of who we are. So the energy is lighting up a little bit. Mercury has moved into Taurus. Venus will move into Taurus on the 16th of this month. And so that's when Venus will come in. We'll be starting to feel last weekend. We were really feeling Mercury in square to Pluto. And right now we're feeling Venus in square to Pluto. Then Venus will move into the sign of Taurus and come into that conjunction with Uranus. So this is kind of completing this whole journey that Mercury and Venus have been on in the sign of Aries, squaring up with Saturn and Pluto and the nodes, as well as coming into this conjunction with Uranus as they move into the sign of Taurus. So that's bringing us a little bit more of a grounded feeling. We're still going through it. There's some hectic energy in the universe. We kind of talked about this. If you are one of those sensitive people that's feeling this hectic energy, that means you're called to hold space and be present and hold that peace of that beautiful energy of you in connection with Mother Earth and present and grounded. And that's a really awesome energy. In this Sun in Taurus time that we're in right now, we are searching for a new relationship to our Earth. Because Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, always represents new energy, electromagnetic upgrades, connecting to higher frequency vibrations. And so in Taurus, and the Sun in Taurus right now, we're trying to come to terms with what this is like. So the message I've been getting about this is that it's a whole different way of grounding, where in the past we could feel ourselves kind of settling in a very physical way to the earth and to the energies of kind of stillness and groundedness. And now when we go to connect with the earth, it feels different. And so we have to reevaluate, relearn, and reorient ourselves. And that's been a lot of the energy that's been going on right now. So the beautiful thing that's trying to come through around this right now is a transit of the Sun in sextile to the North Node. This energy is asking us, where is the nurturing? Where is the divine feminine goddess who can get us through this, right? And this is around our ability to receive. And maybe that's part of this hectic energy and the shift into the Taurus energy that we'll be feeling more and more now that Mercury's in Taurus and Venus is moving in home in Taurus. And so it's kind of like slow down and take care of yourself. And sometimes it just feels like the most difficult thing in the world to do this in our world that we live in, where we have so many responsibilities and there's so many distractions. And do we have permission to do it, to take care of ourselves? And that's kind of such a silly concept. This is a time with this Taurus energy that we can sink into this connection to the earth, but also get higher frequency vibrations as Uranus, these messages from the earth, new understandings. And one of the messages that's come through for me in the last few days has to do with nature and the plant realm specifically. and the intelligence that's available there. Now, part of the bigger picture of what's happening on the planet right now is that we are battling artificial intelligence, and we are trying to keep our souls human and our bodies human. And whereas there's lots of forces that want to kind of turn us into machines and robots and use our soul for energy for what they would like to use it for. And so that's the really big picture of what's going on. But there's this really beautiful energy of organic intelligence that's available to talk to us right now. And almost that's this Uranus and Taurus energy, a very positive thing coming from this. Could be an awakening to our vibrational and intellectual awareness of this intelligence that is in the different forms of life on our planet. And the message from the plant realm is that they're here to grow, and they're here to continue to grow. And in order to do that, they need to continue to receive. You know, there's not a plant out there in the world that feels guilty about taking the sunlight and transforming it into what it needs to survive. And, you know, but humans are constantly riddled with guilt, and this is what we really come down to when we're working with this ability to take care of ourselves, is our ability to receive. And there's this beautiful, sweet little message from the plant realm saying, hey, look at us, you know, let yourself receive what you need to thrive. And maybe that's the message from Mother Earth right now, the Divine Feminine, the Divine Goddess, this awakening Divine Feminine on the planet, is it's up to you to receive this nurturing that's been available this whole time. It's always been here. We've been programmed to think we don't deserve it. And a plant out there that thinks it doesn't deserve the sun's light is not going to survive. And that's a message for us too. It's time for us to receive and to be cared for. And to allow that in our life. It's a very deep, profound message that's coming with this awakening, this North Node in Cancer period of time that we're in right now. And so that energy is really, really important in helping us understand and come to terms with this crazy ping pong or, you know, kind of pinball game that the planets have been playing. And so, you know, May is a really intense month because of all of what I just talked about that's been happening. And then on the 20th to the 25th of May is when Saturn and Pluto are the closest they'll be until the very end of the year, 2 degrees apart. So this is the beginning of the 2020 astrology. And this month in May, we're getting a glimpse of what this 2020 astrology means. Now, with these planets in Capricorn in 2020, we've got Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto all coming together in Capricorn. Capricorn has an energy of where you need to take back your power. And so if you look at where Capricorn is in your chart, the house placement, any planets in Capricorn, and what house it's in, the affairs of that house is where you're working to take your power back over this next couple of years, and it starts now. And so, you know, there's this kind of energy coming down with the element of justice, fairness, law, the rule of law, with Saturn at home in Capricorn. And I'm kind of like hearing the crack of the gavel being like, attention, you know, in the courtroom. It's time to deal with this stuff. It's time to deal with lifetimes of places and areas where we have given our power away and take it back. And maybe that self-care and self-nurturing is a powerful message to the universe saying that you are ready to receive. You're ready to be nurtured into receiving back your power. And because Cancer is the opposite sign of Capricorn. And so it's about where have we given away our power to get what we need in life. And the divine intelligence that we just talked about says there's nothing required. Just your birthright by existing means that you get to have what you need. And what if it's right here for us, and it has been all along? We just allowed the poverty consciousness programming to take over our reality and our low self-worth and programming from past lives. And it's like we're coming up against a wall on this stuff, and it doesn't feel good. You know, it's stuff is coming up all over the place. There's a lot of physical detox, emotional detox, spiritual detox going on right now. Karmic cleansing continues. But we really need to pay attention to the fact that the intensity that's going on is saying, wake up, pay attention. This is a really powerful time, and get ready for 2020. Pay attention, be aware. You know, that's what May is saying to us, and it's going to be foreshadowing the issues that we're going to be working on coming up for this next year and a half as we move through this incredibly potent astrology. So this next couple of days, we are feeling, we're just kind of feeling the tail end of this Mercury conjunct Uranus. It's kind of like a really neat energy for us after Mercury taking that retrograde in the second half of Pisces and coming into this grounded connection in Taurus and being like, okay, this is what it's about, you guys. This is what it's about. This is these new energies, this new chapter, we have been going through all of what we've been going through to be ready to move into the new. And we're feeling that on a visceral level. A lot of the energy that people are feeling right now in physical symptoms and emotional symptoms has to do with a resistance to these energies, trying to come in and, you know, disrupt our life, get rid of the unhealthy patterns. That's the Uranus energy in Taurus, like the unhealthy belief systems and structures of our world, and replace them with new ways. Okay, everything right now is we've got to find new ways of doing things on the earth, and the most important immediate necessity in that journey is this ability to receive, reset back to the intelligence in the plants that we know. We've been plants, we've evolved through these different stages. We can identify with these energies and kind of reset our vibrational frequency to receive what we need in a joyful and beautiful celebration way. And that what we have, the spiritual energy that we can receive in this nurturing, the support is that more is more. The more we receive, the more we give people around us permission to receive, and it's not a shortage. It's not that scarcity mentality that has brought us into competition and fighting against each other rather than evolving. We're human, you know, that's where we've been stuck. So the North Node in Cancer is saying, hey, bring your attention to this problem. And it's kind of the last place you'd look for a lot of the issues, you know. When we have in our life things not working out, things working, and it feels like energy's working against us, nothing's going the way we want. But what if this is the core underneath it all, is that, you know, you aren't able to see, you aren't able to move into the new energies that want to nurture you in your expression of your true gifts because you don't think you deserve it and you don't know how to receive. It's kind of a sad truth of humanity. So we're all here working on it together, though. And I do think we are going to have some clarity as we've got Venus moving over in the middle of the month into Taurus and coming into that conjunction with Uranus. It's kind of like, oh, okay, this kind of deep block that's so hidden from me around whether or not I deserve. I don't even know I have this issue. Like if I asked you walking down the street, like, you know, your whole problem is that you don't think you deserve, and you'd be like, what are you talking about, right? But this is deep subconscious programming. Of course, that's what's been being dug out and revealed with this Saturn South Node energy that will continue for the next 6 months. We're digging out these false root systems of the wrong tree in a way, right? Like we want the tree of life. We don't want the tree of conditioning and belief systems that have been handed down through generations that are not healthy and are not true to us. And so we are reworking our whole reality, and that's why we're going through so much. There's just a lot of drama happening, and June will be intense too, but I'll be here and keeping in touch as we move into this. So there is a full moon on May 18th. That's a Saturday. And I'll be doing an activation on that Friday afternoon before, and that is a full moon in Scorpio at 27 degrees Scorpio. That's getting to the end degrees of Scorpio, and it's pretty interesting because it goes right along with this digging out of the shadow of these deeper sources of our distortions. And so that full moon is going to bring some illumination on what's still hidden in the shadows and the closets of our past that we might not have been able to access yet. But now we're getting to a point where we can access, because guess what? We love each other. We love ourselves enough, right? Like, we love ourselves enough. We love each other enough to forgive, to move into the darkness, to want to heal, and to reveal that shadow. So really, really powerful full moon happening right as we move into this conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. And so indeed, 2020 is going to be about revealing some shadows and some sickness and some distortions. There's disclosure coming in all areas of life. Our new awareness is trying to come in to prepare us to wake up to who we really are, so we can move forward, get out of this rut. So it's all trying to get us out of the rut. That means we got to go back into the rut, and this astrology has just been so intense. In the middle of the month, Mars is going to move into Cancer, and that will mean that Mars will also come into these oppositions with Saturn and Pluto next month. But it also gives us some energy of moving forward with this new awareness of the need and the lack of nurturing that we've allowed in our life. And so Mars wants us to get up and go and fix that issue. So here we go. And so, but it does brings some impetus to that nurturing, and maybe a little bit more empowerment in the process of that self-care. And then the sun moves into Gemini right after that full moon in Scorpio. And then we move into a whole new energy. So we'll be talking about that, because like I said, June is also powerful with some transits that are affecting us all year long, coming exact at the same time. That's going to be Jupiter sextile Saturn. That can be helpful because it's like a creative solutions around building a new reality based on our spiritual quest. But at the same time, we've got Jupiter exact in a square with Neptune, and that's like this feeling of dashed dreams and hopes. And how do we get that back? How do we reclaim that energy in our life? So it's like May, we're getting this conjunction of Saturn and Pluto saying, whoa, our reality has got to change if we're going to move forward, right? If we're going to evolve, some stuff's really got to change around our conditioning, our laws, our beliefs, our relationship to spiritual laws and physical laws. And then June is kind of like, okay, how are we going to go about this? And so the journey continues. And so I'll be in touch soon, and we'll talk more about that Scorpio full moon coming up on the 18th. And that is the exact day that Venus comes into conjunction with Uranus. And so a big shift there. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Until next time, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.